In December 2025, 3 of us went to Spain, to Andalusia, to go climbing. The 3 of us have adventured together many times before on climbing, hiking, and camping trips throughout Scotland. This was the first time we had taken our shared adventuring abroad. The 3 of us, myself, Tom, and Robbie, stayed in a flat owned by Tom's parents in Estepona, a small and charming town where the streets are lined with flower pots, and each street has its own flower pot color. I had 2 intentions for this trip, besides climbing in a warm and dry place, something I have rarely achieved in Scotland where I live. Firstly, I wanted to live slowly and attentively through the days, as I so often can't or don't. Secondly, I wanted to make some art in order to observe the place I was in more fully, and to help me remember it. I made 4 sketches, 3 of them from life, in various media. I hope I can continue this practice in my ordinary life. The day we arrived, we went for a wander and a rather chilly swim. Then I got right down to it, drawing the view from the balcony while we had a lovely, drawn-out meal. On Sunday, the second day of our trip, Tom and I went for a run on the beach, and then we went into the mountains. The sun was bright and warm, a delightful break from the cold and dark of the Scottish winter.
These like stalactite or like sections of wall which are kind of stalactite-esque and they're semi-hollow.
El Chorro, which means the cascade, features great slabs of beautiful limestone rising above a brilliant turquoise river in a striking gorge. We met Portuguese and British climbers and climbed as songbirds twittered and vultures circled overhead.
I would love one. No worries.
Maybe a tiny bit higher, but certainly different from Scotland.
At the end of the day, we drank a beer at the El Chorro train station bar, happily sitting outside in the relative warmth as the locals huddled in their winter coats. The next day, we rose early but unhurriedly to visit Setenil, a town built into the surrounding mountains. We were captivated by the groves of olive trees with their shimmering, silvery leaves, and the abundance of lemons, exotic to us but so ordinary in this place. Living in a city like Edinburgh, which sees millions of tourists every year, it is good to be reminded of the feeling of awe when seeing something so different from your everyday, without the blinders of habit. It fosters warmer feelings for the families blocking the road, gobsmacked by our Gothic architecture. And it helps me refresh my love for the city I call home. We left Setenil after a coffee and some wandering, and made our way to Ronda, another mountain town where the old and new halves are separated by a dramatic gorge. Despite the charm of the town and the beauty of the surrounding views, it was the gorge we had come for. After an Indiana Jones-style trek through overgrown ruins, overlooking the river far below, we embarked on a via ferrata, or iron way, a vertical path of metal rungs which runs up the steep sides of the gorge. Though much shorter than those that run through the Dolomites, which date from World War I and can take days to complete, our via ferrata was no less scenic, and we reached the top in time for tapas, before the sun set behind the mountains.
Enjoy.
A day of paddle, Picasso, Moorish ruins, and beers with friends followed.
De nada, mi amigo. Patatas picantes.
The next day, our final one, was intended as another climbing day, but a storm rolled in. So we instead visited some sulfur baths, which have supposedly been in use since the Romans. The water was warm despite the weather and pungent. Back in the flat, we drew from photos taken in Setenil and played the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game, which is beautiful and very well designed. Our last Spanish sunrise came pink and orange over the shining, rain-slick tiles of the balcony. We took a final walk and saw turtles and a cat amongst the reeds. This is the type of travel I've always dreamed of and rarely succeeded in making reality. All it takes, in the end, is the doing of it.